Did King Von fund the murder trial of FBG Duck? Was it King Von money that got FBG Duck killed? Did them people run and go get FBG Duck and blick up downtown? Blah, 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 blah. Because FBG Duck was down there and King Von wanted him dead. The feds is alleging a lot of this crazy shit. We're going to talk about this, man. I want y'all to hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you hit the like button, it helps with the algorithms. A lot of people be able to see it. We get to cut out all the rumors. The internet full with all kind of rumors about this Duck case ever since the feds released all that paperwork. Then the Sun-Times released paperwork. It got the world in a frenzy. So we're going to expel the rumors and tell you what's true and what's a fact and what's fiction here. So hit the like button. We got to make sure this video do about 2,500 likes. When you do that, it get all the way to the top. A lot of people get be able to see it. Let's jump right into it. Did King Von money fund the murder of FBG Duck? That's what the feds is alleging. A source said that King Von paid $50,000 to get FBG Duck killed. Then he raised the money up because $50,000 wasn't enough, so he went to $100,000. He gave out Oblock chains because people killed Duck. I read the paperwork. You know, a lot of that is just hearsay. A lot of that is just an informant giving out this information. This not even the feds saying that. The feds said an informant told them that Von put money on Duck head. I read the paperwork. I believe if King Von was alive, I don't believe, you know, you'd be able to charge him, in my opinion. Now, the feds probably would have charged him, but I believe out of everybody, Von would have been able to beat that case if he would have been linked to that, because his name was in the paperwork. They said that he wanted Duck dead and he funded it and shit like that. But I think that's just rumors that come from that source. I don't think that was stamped. Yeah, I think Von didn't like Duck. I think they had a hatred for each other. We heard it through the music. It wasn't no joke. You heard Dead Bitches? You heard Exposing Me? Von dissed Scrap, which is Duck cousin. He dissed Brick in his songs. He was dissing Duck. So we all knew those guys didn't like each other. We heard of the rumors between OD and KI. This ain't no secret. People know about this. But everybody hated Duck. Just like everybody from Duck's side really didn't like Von. To put Duck death on Von is kind of circumstantial. It's not really evidence to prove that, but just hearsay. Everybody didn't like Duck from Oblock. Just like everybody from St. Lawrence didn't like Von. Von name not in the paperwork. When you look at that indictment that the feds released to show some of the evidence that they're going to use at that murder trial unless they held some, we didn't see King Von name inside of that trial, inside of the transcripts. All I seen was a source said he paid money and he bought chains. That's all I seen. But that's he say. Because when you look at the paperwork, Duck was killed because Teasy walked in the store and seen him and was jealous because Duck was fucking with his baby mama. The kids was around, all kind of shit. So he dropped Duck low to Oblock members. When he dropped the low to Oblock members, the surveillance footage caught the moment that they got that phone conversation. Von's name wasn't brought up. You know, Teasy asked for D-Thing and maybe somebody else, but Von's name didn't come up. He didn't call and say, hey, put Von on the phone trying to collect on that money. You didn't see that. He called them Oblock dudes, and allegedly, and them Oblock dudes went and got Duck. Now you got to remember, they didn't pick up any phone call because we would have seen it in the paperwork that Von was talking to them. Not saying that he ain't talked to them later, not saying the feds ain't holding that information, but I just didn't see that in the paperwork. And I also didn't see King Von and Oblock when Duck died. I don't think Von was in Chicago. I think Von was still in Atlanta, so he wasn't there. He didn't get a call. He didn't participate. To link him into that is just circumstantial. I think at the level he was at, the money he had, he could have got a lawyer. He would have been able to kind of get out of this case if they would have threw him in this. It's crazy because Von had been doing a lot of cases ever since he passed. His name got through in the KI case, even though he was questioned for that. But it wasn't like it was now. People weren't really claiming that he did that as strong as they doing it now. People were claiming it, but not as strong. You know, after he died, they threw him in KI murder case. They threw him in Modell murder case. They said that he was the shooter in Atlanta with Lil Durk. Now, all of a sudden, he the guy who paid the money behind Duck killing. He even said that in the song, When I Die. You feel me? If something happened, they always blame him. He wasn't even outside. You feel me? And that's what he said. And I believe that to a certain extent. Now, did Von want Duck hurt? I'm not saying he didn't. You get what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yeah, he might have had a bag on his head, but that ain't the reason why he died that day. He died over jealousy, and that guy knew exactly who to call because they didn't like Duck. You got to remember, King Von them got Oblock chains. On the back of them Oblock chains is names of people who passed away. About 5 or 6 of those names are people who passed away allegedly from people in Jaro City, where Duck is known to be at. So it was a war out there for a long ass time, you know. And I think what the feds, you know, getting this Duck information is because, think about it, Duck was alive on these streets for a long time, beefing with all kind of people. He was throwing shots at Dirk, throwing shots at Chief Keef and everybody. He was still able to walk these streets. I ain't saying he didn't have moments when people tried to take his life, because Duck been involved in a lot of near-death experiences from stories he even told. But Duck was still out here moving around. Soon Vaughn got out of the deal. That heat was on his ass. Like I say, he was sandals in them hoods. You got 600, you got 63rd, then you got Oblock. Duckman was in the middle. And both of them hoods had rich people in it. From Vaughn, Keith, Lil Durk, you know, even G Herbo. G Herbo wasn't his enemy, but even like G Herbo, you know, he wasn't all the way his friend either. So, you know, it was dangerous for Duck. Duck was a walking target out here, man. You know, and that guy was still out here. He didn't really give a fuck about that. I heard stories of Duck putting pressure on people in these streets. A lot of these guys were scared to perform in Chicago, perform at these nightclubs and all kind of shit, because Duck had, you know, a lot of pressure on them guys from the streets. Them guys was famous in the industry, and Duckman was famous in the streets. I'm not sure if people know that. But the King Von link, I do think is circumstantial. He wasn't in Chicago the day Duck died. He didn't get a phone call from TZ. He wasn't one of the guys running to the car. He wasn't none of that. So to just throw his name in that case is very, very circumstantial. I think if Vaughn had a lawyer, he would have been able to kind of fight through that case, beat through that case. Maybe not be to the point where he was tried with all of them. You know, maybe Vaughn would have been able to get his case tried by himself and shit like that, you know, because when you look in the paperwork, all it alleges that he put money on Duck here. But the feds didn't allege that. Nobody close to the situation alleged that. It was a source that claimed that Vaughn put this money on his head, and that's the reason people went to go get him. Now, I'm not saying that ain't it, but think about it. Them guys didn't like Duck just like Vaughn didn't like Duck. I think the feds is saying, you know, a lot of them guys were trying to impress King Von by murdering Duck, you know, because in the paperwork it says Von was like a leader. You know, it says Munna Duke, it says Boss Top, it said these were leaders of the Oblock members and shit like that. So I think the feds saying, you know, Muwap and them tried to further their status in the gang by moving up to generals and lieutenants and leaders of the gang by impressing the bosses. And one of the bosses was King Von, they alleged. So they saying basically they took Duck out for Von. But them guys didn't like Duck either. You got to remember, Von friends is the same friends that Muwap got. It's the same friends that Los got. So just because Von didn't like Duck, that didn't mean Muwap didn't like them either. They didn't like Duck either, you know what I'm saying? So all this is alleged too, remember this. I think these videos we do so much kind of make it seem like we stamping Oblock and making it seem like they the murderers, they did this. I wasn't there. I don't got no fight in this. The evidence they got against Oblock is strong. It seems like it is somebody cooperating. If you ask me, I would think all those guys gonna have to testify. There's no way they can sit on that stand, hide them feds, them sources, them rats, them informants, everybody telling this information, these surveillance footages and everything, and nobody gonna get on the stand and try to tell their side of the story at least. So I believe it's gonna be a lot of people testifying. I believe some of them Oblock members are gonna testify on their own behalf, in my opinion, too. So this gonna be a strong case, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button. We gotta make sure this video go up. We need a lot of people to see it, man, so we can put the end to the rumors. But in my opinion, I don't think King Von would have been charged with this murder. But I do think he would have been charged with this murder. But I do think out of everybody, King Von had a chance to beat that case, especially if he would have been tried by himself. He wasn't charged with this case, but it's a lot of rumors about his name. I do believe if he was here, he would have an opportunity to beat this case because all the evidence against him is circumstantial. He wasn't caught on no surveillance footages, no POD cameras. His car license plate wasn't red. I don't think he was in Chicago. TZ never made a phone call to him the day Duck died. So I just think a lot of that is circumstantial. Kenny Mack was the driver. He wasn't the only ones that didn't get out and blah, 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 on Duck. He stayed in the car. I think he has an opportunity to broker a deal. Not saying it's going to be a good deal because he was part of the murder conspiracy, but he didn't shoot. And he also says Cheesy didn't shoot Duck, but he did drop the low and start the whole cycle of getting Duck killed. So This crazy, man. Y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know what y'all think about this. Hit a like. It's the homie True Tell This Reporter. Blah, blah, blah.